A statistics professor plans classes so carefully that the lengths of her classes are uniformly distributed between 48.0 and 58.0 minutes. Find the probability that a given class period runs between 51.5 and 51.75 minutes. Okay, so a continuous random variable has a uniform distribution if its values spread evenly over the range of possibilities. So the graph of a uniform distribution results in a rectangular shape. So let's go ahead and draw that rectangular shape. So here is our vertical and horizontal axis, or our x and y axis. The vertical axis represents the probability, and the horizontal is the time in minutes, and that represents the values of x. Okay. Now, for a density curve to be a graph of a continuous probability distribution, it must have a total area under the curve, which is equal to 1, and the curve cannot fall below the x-axis. So again, it's a rectangular shape, and with that rectangular shape, we know that the area of that rectangular shape is going to equal 1. Okay. Now, we want to find the length of the uniform distribution, and the length is the difference between the maximum and the minimum values. So it's in between 48 minutes and 58 minutes. So here's 48.0 minutes, and this is 58.0 minutes. So that means in between we have 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, and then 57. Okay. So let's go ahead and find the length of that. Well, we know that the length is going to be the following. If we take 58.0, okay, and then we subtract 48.0, then we know it's going to equal 10.0. Okay, so now the next step is that since the uniform distribution is rectangular, and so it has a length of 10 and an area of 1, we want to find the height of that uniform distribution. So we're going to take the area and then divide it by the length. So the area is 1, and then we're going to divide that by 10. And that's going to give us the height. So if we take 1 and then divide that by 10, then we get 0.10. And so now that's going to give us the height of this rectangle. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to be able to find the probability that the given class period runs between 51.5 and 51.75 minutes. So we got to locate that on our graph here where 51.5 is located. Well, if this is 49, this is 50, this is 51, and then this is 52. Okay, so if this represents 51.5, and I'm going to write that up here, and then let's say this one represents 51.75. So what we want to do is we want to find the area that is in between here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Alright, so now that we want to be able to find that area, that is going to be the probability. So because the area under the curve equals 1, we know that there's a correspondence between area and probability. Therefore, the desired probability can be found by determining the area of the region. So to find the probability of a class that runs between 51.5 and 51.75 minutes, we want to find the area of the shaded region. So here what we're looking for is the following. The probability that it is between 51.5 and 51.75. Okay, well, that means we need to find the length, okay, of the shaded region. Well, if we want to find the length of the shaded region, that means we would take 51.75 and then subtract 51.5. Okay, well, what does that give us? Well, if we take 51.75 and then subtract 51.5, we get 0.25. So that means that we're going to take the length multiplied by its height. So we know that the length is 0.25. And so now what is the height of this region? We know the height of this region is 0.10. So we're going to multiply that by 0.10. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we take 0.25, multiply that by 0.10, then we're going to get the area or the probability of 0.025. So that means that this area here, or the probability, is equal to 0.025. So that's going to represent the probability of selecting a class that runs between 51.5 and 51.75 minutes. So let's go ahead and put that in there, 0.025, and there is our answer.